it's Iain from RTO here, and it's still dark. If you've seen the little promo for tomorrow's live stream, you'd have seen it was dark, and it's still not light enough to have no lights on. And it's a bit later than it is, but it's still dark and dingy. Anyway, we have got for you today a marathon, and it's a two-parter because our artist today has released 26 studio albums. So we're going to split it into two. Today we're going to go from number 26 up to number 14, and the next week we go 13 to 1. And today's artist is someone that gets mentioned quite a lot on the live stream by Michael, Ricefield Records, and it's Todd Rundgren, who was born on the 22nd of June 1948. And of course he is a singer, producer, a multi-talented musician. He was also in band, he was in Nas, which we've covered, and he was also in Utopia, so we know we're going to get some Utopia. He's known for the sophisticated and unorthodox music. I must admit, I am not a big fan of Todd. Michael will be upset about that, but I do like one or two of his albums and tracks. I think I've got enough to say that I could put together a greatest hits album. So he's some of the stuff he's done as well. A pioneer in the field of electronic music, progressive rock, computer software and internet music delivery. He organised the first interactive television concert in 1978, and it was the first design to use colour graphics in a tablet, and created the first interactive album with no word order in 1994. So as I said, we're going to start at number 26 and go to number 14 today. So we will get cracking. So coming in at number 26, we have the 23rd album released in 2011, and it's called Reproduction. Basically, it's covers of songs done by Todd. So on here we've got Daniel Iserbeck on guitar, Mary Ellen Manning guitar, Bruce Wetson bass, Tim Longfellow organ, Don Slovin the tin whistle, Sam LaMonica drums, and various guests on backing vocals, and of course Todd doing singing and various instruments. So the first track that he covers on here is a Tubes number, Prime Time. Yeah, I prefer the original. I do not like this interpretation at all. Then he does Patti Smith's Dancing Barefoot. Great song. Not by Todd. I don't like that at all. And then he does a version of Meatloaf's 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad. It's shocking. Worst track on here. Then we have a track by What Is This, and it's called Chasing the Ghost. I've never liked the original, but I actually prefer this version. Believe it or not, it's a lot better. Up next is a Psychedelic Furs number, Love My Way. Yep, he's ruined another one. Well done, Todd. And then he does a New York Dolls track, Personality Crisis. He's not a bad version of it, I must admit. We can live for that one. Is It a Star? Daryl Hall and John Oates. This one actually resembles the original. I've never a great lover of this song, but it's okay. Then we have a track by an artist called Jill Soblu, or Sublé. Tell Me Your Dreams. Isn't bad. I've heard the original, and that's not too bad. Take It All, which is a Badfinger number called. It's not too bad, but it's not a patch on the original. Then they do Cheap Tricks. I Can't Take It, and it's not a bad version of it, I must admit. Then Everything, a Rick Derringer number. The only thing that ruins this is the horrible drum beat put on it. It doesn't fit. But when I started doing this, I thought, oh god, this will be terrible, but it's not, and it's Walk Like a Man from the Grand Funk Railroad. He actually does a pretty good version of it. I was shocked. I would say it's probably the best one on here. Then we have Nothing to Lose from Dragon. Yeah, the original wasn't brilliant, and this has made it even worse. Yeah, not one of the best cover albums I've heard. One reasonably good track on it, so I shall give this an RTO ranking of 1 out of 10. Okay, coming up in number 25. Now, this is a 1997 album called Up Against It, and it's mostly songs and demos he wrote and recorded between 86 and 89 for the musical theatre adaptation of never produced screenplay Up Against It. The play was originally written in 67 by Joe Wharton for the Beatles. There's a track on here called When Worlds Collide. You know this is going to be a musical even in this very basic form. Very strange track. It's okay. 3 Male and 21's next. I'm not a fan of this. Even for a demo, the vocals are a bit flat. Then there's a track called Smell of Money, which we'll talk about later because it's on another album. Same with If You Have to Be Alone, it's on an album. Up Against It, he puts a horrible drum machine. It's just, you can tell these are demos. So it'll be interesting to see what these tracks would have sounded like. Life is a Drag, probably the worst one on here. It doesn't do anything. Parallel Lines, which will appear on another album. Lily's Address, the best of the worst, I'd say. That's pretty good. Love in Disguise appears on another album. Maybe I'm Better Off, very flat. Thank Me in the End. Lots of... This is all about having a bit of woolly woolly, outy father and rumpy pumpy. Yes. Strange track that is. From Hunger, it's not too bad. I can go with that one and you can listen to it. We Understand Each Other, one of the better songs on here. It's been well put together for a demo. And we've got Entropy. It's okay. Finale just goes on and on and on. Yeah, it's lots of demos. Some of the tracks that they went on to make full tracks, and you can get the gist of what they could have sounded like, but in no thing. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 1.5. Okay, coming in at number 24, we got the 14th album from 1993, and it's this interactive album, No World Order. Top place everything on here. First thing is World Epiphany 1.0. Yeah. Overproduced. The guitar sounds very electronic. Don't like it. No World Order 1.0. It's 80s rap and it's not very good. I don't like it. Worldwide Epiphany 1.1. Once again, overproduced. The drums sound everything. It's over the top. Oh, dear me. Day Job 1.0. The drum machine just doesn't sound right. I don't like anything about this one. Property 1.0. Very 90s keyboard, very club singing, not very good. Fascist Christ 1.0. Lots of generic noises. I couldn't understand anything on it, to be quite honest. Love Thing 1.0. Very tinny, not very good. Time Stood Still 1.0. Horrible drum machine on that, not very good. Proactivity 1.0. Very similar to Time Stood Still with just a different noise on it. No World Order 1.1. Whoever told Todd he could rap should have just he should be put it. They should be put in a room with the key thrown away. It's horrible. Worldwide Epiphany 1.2 sounds all the same. But Time Stood Still 1.1, the best of the worst again. It's not too bad. Love Thing at 1.0. Short, very poppy, not very good at all. Time Stood Still at 1.2. The continuation of Time Stood Still 2 minutes, not too bad. Word Made Flesh 1.1. It's one of the 1.0, so there's too much going on. It's very busy. The guitar solo's alright though. Fever Broke, another bad track to end the album. I must admit, I do find this album very pretentious. Lots going on, doesn't flow very well. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 1.8. Okay, coming in at number 23, we have the 18th album released in 2004, Liars. Todd plays all the instruments except the slide guitar, which is done by Ken Emerson, and Garney and Thomason does wind. First track, Truth. It's ruined by the horrible drums. They don't make any sense at all. It's all over the place, that track. Sweet. This one's all right actually, to a certain extent, but again, wrong. Take out the drumming and put a drummer in it. It may have sounded better. Happy Anniversary. This is going to be a regular thing describing this album. The drum programming is awful. Ruins the track. It could have been a good track without that drum machine. Soul Brother is the best thing on here. It's the drum actually fits, and it really works well. It's not a bad track. Stood Up, very busy track. There's so much going on here, and you can't pick out anything. It was very hard to listen to, that one. Mammon, I like this one. It's got a nice little bit of piano in it. Works well. Future, even the drum's not too bad in it. It's just a little bit too long. Past, sounds like a boy band. Not very interesting. Wondering, horrible dance beat, just does not suit this song. Floor, horrible drumming again. You can't. It just sort of overtakes this track, and you can't understand anything. Same sound on Afterlife. No individuality. Living. I don't like this style of talking and yeah. God Said, far too long. Meanders all over the place, but it has got a good guitar solo in it. Liar. It's alright. Yeah, this one's a bit of a mixed bag. There's some terrible stuff on here. I don't know. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 2 out of 10 because there are some highlights on there that are quite good. Okay, coming in at number 22. In 2015, we have Global. Again, Todd plays everything. Everybody, apart from the cheesy keyboard start, I quite like this. There's some nice guitar work on this. One of the best, not a bad track actually. Flesh and Blood comes next. Again, the cheesy keyboard's a bit off, but it sounded, I don't know if it's trying to sound like Talking Heads of the time. It's alright. Rise, I quite like this. Middle of the roady sort of thing for Todd. It doesn't sound too bad. Holy Land, a very poppy song. Not too bad. Then we have Blind, which features Bobby Strickland on the alto sax, and it's not bad. The saxophone is pretty good on there. Earth Mother, featuring Rachel Hayden, Janet Kirker, Michelle Rundgren, Jim Sobule, and Tal Wakenfield. Now, this is the best track on here. Tal is a great bass player. She's played with Jeff Beck, of course, and a great vocal from Jill Sobule or Sobule. Very good track, my favourite track on the album. Then we have Global Nation. 2 sort of tracks mixed into one, and it didn't sound right. I'm sorry. Soothe, one of the better tracks on here. It's very listenable and very nice. Terra Firma is too dancey for me. I don't like it. Fate, it's okay. Skyscraper featuring Kazem Sultan. Cheesy keyboard at the beginning, but the guitar work is really good on that. This Island Earth, very generic. A rather bland album. Has got, I mean, the best thing on here is Earth Mother, but the rest of it's a bit mediocre. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 2.5. Okay, coming in at number 21 from 1995. It's the Individualist, which goes under the pseudonym of T.R.I., and it's the second of the albums, being New World Order the first. Okay, once again, Todd plays most of the sing, but we've got a choir of Mary Arnold, Ed Bishop, John Fursnick, Jesse Gress, Anne Lamb, Tom Nicholson. First track on here is Tables Would Turn. Isn't too bad. It is a bit long, but it actually works. I do like that track. If not now, when? Probably the best track on this one. It's okay, but it's not brilliant. But it's thing. Family Values. I like the funky bass line on this, and I do love the bongos on it. It's quite quirky, this one. The Ultimate Crime. It's listenable. It's you can pick out what's going on, and it's not too bad. Espresso, all jacked up. A great bass line on this one. I just don't like the cheesy keyboard sound. The Individualist. It's certainly one of the better songs on here. It works quite well. Even though it's a long track, it does flow quite well. Cast, the first down. What a racket. There's too much going on. Beloved Infidel. The vocal is quite good from Todd. I don't mind that one. Temporary Sanity. Like the arrangement, don't like the vocal. And Woman's World. Very mediocre track. Got a good bass line though. This is the out of the two T.I. albums. This is the better of the two, but it's still not the best album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 3 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 20, we go to 2017 now for White Knight. Todd plays everything on here. The first track is Come. I quite like this. It's got a nice beat to it, well put together song. I Got You Back, featuring KK Watson and Dan Funk. Horrible drum machines. Rubbish. Chance for Us, featuring Daryl Hall on the vocals and Bobby Strickland on the saxophone. Bobby Strickland's saxophone is good. It's not a bad track. I don't mind that one. Fiction, it's okay. I wouldn't say it'll set the world on fire, but it's okay. Beginning of the End, featuring John Butte. Not a bad track. Tinfoil Hat, featuring Donald Fagen. I quite like this. There's a nice harmony vocals going between Todd and Donald on that one. Up next is Look at Me, featuring Michael Holman. Not familiar with Michael Holman, but it's not a bad track. But there are some noises in the background that really irritate me. Let's Do This, featuring Mo Berg. Sort of a middle of a road sound. It's not too bad. Sleep, featuring Joe Walsh. It may feature Joe Walsh, but I don't like it. That Could Have Been Me, featuring Robin. It's okay. Buy Me No, missed one out. Missed quite a few out. Deaf Ears, featuring Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Nah, it's too modern. Naked and Afraid, featuring Bette Levette. Dancey, worst track on here. Buy My Tea. This track's about 2 decades behind. It's 280s. Doesn't work now. Wouldn't You Like to Know, featuring Rebop Rundgren, which is the son of Todd. And it's actually my favourite track on here. Really good song, one of the best ones of this period, I think, of Todd's career. And This Is Not a Drill, featuring Joe Satriani, Chasm Sultan and Prairie Fring. Second favourite track. Joe Satriani is so good on this. Good track to end the album. This isn't too bad. It's got one or two interesting tracks on it. Still not top drawer though, so I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 3.5. I just need a coffee. Okay, coming in at number 19, we got a 1985 for an album called A Cappella. Now this is one of the most unusual albums that Todd put out, because every sound is produced by an artist's voice, and then Rundgren employed overdubbing techniques on the emulator. So these are all people's voices turned into tracks. First one is called Blue Orpheus. I got the idea of what's going on, but there's too much going on. You can't pick anything out. Very mishmash of sounds. Johnny Jingo. I actually like this. It's very clever what he's done. He's got some the harmony of all the different voices, and he's got like a bass line done on with voices. Very clever. Pretending to Care. It isn't too bad. The baseball voice is pretty cool on that. But my favourite track on here is called Hodja. I think it's a very sort of barbershop quartet style thing. It's the best track on the album. Lost Horizon. You've got these voices doing all sorts. It's just so clever how it makes it into a tune. Something to Fall Back On. I love how he's created an 80s drum machine with voices. Incredible what he done there. Hats off, Todd. Well done. Very clever. Miracle in the Bazaar, my second favourite track on here. It's got some really nice harmonies on it as well. Good use of the voices that he had. Lockjaw, not a great track. It's all over the place and there's just too much going on. Honest Work, really nice. This is, again, keep it simple and it works. Very, very good. Then we got Mighty Love. This is a really good version of the Detroit Springer song. How he's made it work. Very, very good and a good track to end the album. I must admit, I think this is a very clever album. Some tracks worked, some didn't. So that's why it's a bit low, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 4 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 18, but the 19th album released in 2008, and it's called Arena. Once again, Todd plays everything on this. So the first track is Mad. Not too bad. I like the start of it. It's got quite a upbeat thing. Very, very good. Afraid. Very non-memorable. Just there. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not brilliant. It's just there. Mercenary next track. I do like this. It's my favourite track on it. It's got a real heavy riff on, which I like. Definitely a very good track. And once again, the next track, Gun, a little bit heavier. Then riffs are really good. And then all of a sudden it just wanders off into this sort of club band sort of mediocre track, which is a shame. If they carried on with that riff, heavy riff, it'd have been much better. Courage. Yeah, just another mediocre middle of the road track. Weakness. It starts off well with them great riffs, and then it just fades away. Strike. Love the music, terrible vocal. Okay, excuse the French on this one. It is called Pissing. I love the bass line, and I love the drums on it. Excellent. Today is very mediocre rock track, nothing special. Bardo. Some nice guitar work on this. I don't mind that one. Pretty good vocal from Todd as well. Mountaintop, boogie rock trail, pretty good. Panic, very good. Great little rocker that is. Man Up, not a fan of this one. Bit wishy-washy. This isn't a bad album. That's got some really good tracks on this. It's a bit of a mixed bag, so I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 17 from 1997, With a Twist. Shall we say again, With a Twist? It's new versions of older singles that Todd had recorded, and he made it into like a bossa nova style with elements of erotica. So Todd Rundgren is the producer on Iain plays everything, and he's got Jess Guess on guitar, Kazim Sultan on bass, John Forensic on keyboards, and Prince Prairie Prince. So the tracks he does is I Saw the Light, Influenza, Can We Still Be Friends, Mated, It Would Have Been Made Any Different, Love Is the Answer, Fidelity, Never Never Land, Hello It's Me, I Want You, and A Dream Goes On Forever. I think this is quite fun. It really is, with that bossa nova theme to it. Really a twist on the albums, and I didn't mind listening to this one. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 5.8. Okay, coming in at number 16, the 13th album from 1991, Second Wind. There's a full band on this, and the album was actually recorded live in front of an audience at the Fine Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco over a course of a week. So playing on here, we've got Todd Rundgren vocals and guitars, Roger Powell keyboards and vocals, Vince Welnick keyboards and vocals, Voss Villeroy on bass, of course he played with Journey, Lyle Workman on guitar, Prairie Prince on drums, Max Haskett brass and vocals, Bobby Strickland on reeds, winds and vocals, Scott Matthews on percussion. We've got Shandy Shamel vocals, Michelle Gray on vocals, and Jenny Muldaur. So, first track is called Change Myself. It's okay. Although it's recorded live in front of an audience, you wouldn't think it was. It's a very studio sort of thing, but it's not too bad. Love Science, love the bass line on that. That's Ross Valoy. Very, very good bass line. Who's Sorry Now? The bongos really make the track. Then we have the Smell of Mully, which was from was on it up against it. This sounds much better than it does on there, and then because it's been properly done, you've got like I said, you got a good idea of what the album could have sounded like. I really like that track. If You Have to Be Alone, there's not much difference between this and the demo version on Up Against It. They didn't need to do too much on it, I don't think. It's okay. Then we have Love in Disguise. From the three that have been recorded off Up Against It, this is the best one. They've added the richness of the band. It's not bad at all. Then we have Kindness, a bit wishy-washy, and it goes on a bit for me. My favourite track, though, is Public Servant. I like I think Todd Rundgren's a very good guitar player. It's some lovely tones on that. Gaia's Eyes, not very good. And then the last track, Second Wind, some really nice arrangements, some lovely playing on it. It has got that live feel about it, although this is not an official live album, but it's a very good track. It's a very good album. I was quite surprised at this. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 15 then, the 24th album, released in 2013, and it's called State. Todd does everything on here again. He's got some Rachel Haddon and Mathide Santin on vocals as well. So the first track is called Imagination. Halfway through it gets stuck on a word over and over again. Now, if I hadn't been listening to this via streaming, I'd have thought the record was scratched. It spoilt the record, actually. Serious. I like the groove on this. There's some really good drumming from Todd on this. Excellent little track, actually. In My Mouth, Dancey, no, I didn't like it. Ping Me, very mediocre. Angry Bird, now, it may have been written in 2013, but it's got that 80s feel. It sounds like it's in a time warp. It sounds like it's a track that was written back in '83 and they found it in 2013. Smoke, worst track on here, doesn't do anything for me, it's all over the place. Kaleidoscope, I love this track. One of the best tracks in this part of his career. I like how it's put together. It's weird, but it just is good. Something from Nothing, lovely vocal, that's super. Party Liquor, it's a dance track, it's awful. And the last track is Surreality, nicely put together, well put together song. Yeah, I did find Todd a bit inconsistent. I always have. There's soft rock tracks on here are good. The dancey ones just don't cut it with me. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.3. And the last one we're going to do today, number 14, is actually his most current album. And it was released in 2022 and it's called Space Force. He does all the thing when there's guests on here. So the first one, Puzzle, is with Adrian Bello from all sorts, including King Crimson. Very good track. I don't mind this one actually. Really good, solid track. Down with the Ship with the Rivers Kumo. I really like this. I like it's a reggae thing and it really works. Artists in Residence with Neil Finn. Of course, Neil Finn from Crowded House. You can't win. You cannot go wrong when you've got Neil Finn on a track. It really works. Love that. Then he just go with Via Girl with the Roots. Isn't too bad. Reminds me a little bit of Ice Cream Man. Very good. But my favourite track on here is You Fandango, which he does with Sparks. Absolutely brilliant. It's got that quirkiness of a Sparks track. It's got that wonderful Russell vocal, Run on the keyboards. It really works. It's a fantastic song. I really like that one. Someday with Davey Lame, a little bit wishy-washy. I'm Not Your Dog with Mr. Thomas Dolby, and you can tell this has got Thomas Dolby written all over it. It's its quirkiness. You've got two really oddball sort of characters in Todd and Tom, and they work well together. It really is good. It's probably my second favourite track on here. Espionage with Nazi. Not a great lover of this. Pretty rubbish. Then we have STFU with Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. Brilliant. Great guitar work from Rick. You can't go wrong with that one. Head in the Ocean with Alfie Templeton. It's okay. It just needs a little bit more gumph in it. And I'm Leaving with the Lemon Twigs. Very quirky number. There's nothing wrong with this one. I quite like that. And then Eco Warrior Goddess with Stevie Vai. Fantastic track. The guitar work of Stevie Vai is brilliant. And you've got Todd as well. They sort of play off each other quite well. And I think it's a good track to end the album. I really like listening to this. There's a couple of tracks that weren't good, but you know, this is a very, very good album. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 6.4. So there we go. That's part one done. Next week we'll count down albums 13 to number 1. That's all for today, but we have got a very, very busy day tomorrow. Thursday is always busy, but we've got 2 birthday top 10s. We've got Charles and we've got Father Stack. We've got Group B of Battle Royale, the singer-songwriters. We've got John Lennon, Phil Collins, Gary Newman and Kate Bush. And then we've got I think it's a Wander Down the Sidewalk, and we're also looking at the top 10 singles in America on the 17th of October 1973, plus we've got the live stream as well. So one hell of a day tomorrow. Hopefully the weather's a lot better. So have a great day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow on one hell of a marathon day. Bye for now.